Welcome to the Chevrolet MLB on Fox Sports 1 pregame. A beautiful night for baseball here in Southern California. It's also a special night. Why? Because the Stanley Cup is in attendance. And if the Cup is here, you better take a picture with it, because who knows how many opportunities you'll get to take a picture with that legendary trophy. It's time for some baseball here in Anaheim, an AL West showdown as the Texas Rangers are in town for Game 2 of this three-game series against the Angels. And hello, everybody. Justin Kutcher alongside Eric Karros. And Eric, we saw these Angels last week in Atlanta, and we spoke about Mike Trout, and rightfully so. Well, he didn't disappoint. Tonight, we see him again. We're going to talk about him again.
And there's no problem. I'll talk about him every single weekend. Mike Trout's having another all-star season. He's hitting over 300. He's got 16 home runs. He's driven in over 50 runs. Now, he just snapped a 13-game hitting streak, but in his last 33 games, he's got 33 RBIs. And for me, what's been most impressive, he's got 80 base hits this year. 40 of those have gone for extra bases.
It's truly remarkable. What's also remarkable for the Rangers is how many injuries they've had. They've been decimated by injuries. Yet if you still look at their lineup, their everyday lineup, they roll out 3 or 4 All-Stars every day.
Yeah, they really do. You look at the top of the lineup, Elvis Andrus at shortstop. He hits well against Weaver, about a 350 clip. Then you've got Shin-Soo Choo, who's just been an on-base machine over his career. Adrian Beltre, the third baseman for me, is a borderline Hall of Famer. And Alex Rios in the outfield, he does a good job and is very consistent.
These guys have been consistent, but Mike Trout is the best. And it's one thing to impress the fans. It's a whole other thing when you impress your peers.
He's a classic power tool player, and so you never know what to expect from him day in, day out.
A big fly for Mike Trout.
He's the best player in the league. He has a great time playing this game, smiling, having a blast.
You don't want to ever leave the dugout because you're afraid that you might miss something special he's going to do.
Oh, what a catch by Mike Trout.
And Mike Trout and the Angels trying to take advantage of an opportunity when they have it. Take advantage of a team like Texas, which is down right now.
Yeah, you know, talking to Ron Washington prior to the game, you know, I was saying, are you trying to get to 500? What are your expectations for this ball club? And he said point blank, I expect to get better and better every single day. He said, look, I'm not satisfied being 500. That's not the type of person I am. I'm still trying to win every single game. But my main focus is getting these guys that are having opportunities at the big league level better and better every single day.
And how important is it, as we look at some of the all-stars for the Rangers, that some of these young guys who get the opportunity to take advantage of that opportunity, because it might lead to something else?
Well, the thing about it, when you get an opportunity, you might only get this one opportunity to prove that you belong in the big leagues. And as a young player, you've got to take advantage of it. And even as an older player, if you're finally getting that chance to run out there every day, seize the moment right now, because, again, it may not come.
As these Angels take the field, let's take a look at the starting lineup for these Texas Rangers at 35 and 38, coming off 3 straight losses. Leading things off and playing center field is Leonys Martin. Batting second and playing shortstop, Elvis Andrus. The left fielder batting third is Shin-Soo Choo. Adrian Beltre will clean things up and play third base. Alex Rios will DH tonight and bat fifth. Brad Snyder at first base bats sixth. Robinson Chirinos, the catcher, will bat seventh. Batting eighth is the right fielder Michael Choice. And batting ninth, the second baseman Rudned Odor. And they will face the right-hander Jared Weaver. Weaver on the season 7-6 with a 3.67 ERA. 95 2/3 innings, 75 strikeouts compared to 30 walks. And get this, in his career against the Rangers here at home, 9-0 with a 2.28 ERA.
He's got great stuff, obviously, but as of late, he's been hindered by the long ball. He's got to keep the ball in the park. It's really been because of location. He's been up in the zone. His last couple of outings, also, he has not been able to complete 6 innings. This is all coming after the complete game he threw in May.
How about the forward keys to the game? What should we look out for here tonight?
Well, pretty simple for me. The Rangers have to get through 6 innings. That's starting pitching specifically. They just haven't been getting any production there. Jared Weaver, I just mentioned, you've got to keep it in the ballpark. That's what's hampered him, especially his last 2 games, the long ball.
Last night it was a 7-3 victory for these Angels. Mike Scioscia. It's amazing to think what he has done with this ball club in his time. And he has helped this turnaround this year with the Angels from last year. Mike Trout getting set out there in center field. You see all these guys and what they've done. The addition in the offseason, David Freese, Peter Borges was traded for Freese. And we're set for some baseball now as Weaver will face Leonys Martin to start off this ball game. Leonys Martin, Hank Conger having a bit of a conversation back there. Martin, the center fielder, getting ready to dig in. Weaver looks over to his first baseman, Efren Navarro, who just got called up today. He said, hey, come in a couple steps or so. The first pitch from Weaver. In there, first strike. Leonys Martin, 265, 3 home runs, 19 RBIs on the season. The 0-1 from Weaver. Breaking ball in the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, Martin at top of the lineup. Likes to run quite a bit. He can get down there on base. Got 16 stolen bases on the year. Really, his game is speed. That's why you saw Weaver talking to the corners, make sure they're in.
1-1 curveball, good pitch, 1-2. You look at Leonys Martin, Elvis Andrus, the 2 between them have 34 total stolen bases. High and outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So if they can get on, that sets the table for the guys 3, 4, 5 and Choo, Beltre, and Rios.
Well, and remember last night the Rangers were able to steal 4 bases against this Angel Ball Club. Chris Iannetta behind the plate last night.
The 2-2 from Weaver. Line drive to left center field. That'll get in for a base hit. Martin with that speed takes a big turn. Going to try for 2, and he will be in there with a leadoff double. The 6th double of the year for Leonys Martin.
You see this pitch just out away from him. Martin does a nice job shooting the ball to left center field. With his speed, no way you're going to keep him from second base.
So he's on at second now for Elvis Andrus, who's having a disappointing season for his standards at .271, 2 home runs and 18 RBIs. This is a guy who came on with such fanfare. Helped lead this team to the World Series. Huge expectations. Squares around the bunt, pulls it back, and takes the pitch down low for a ball.
I know Andrus is supposed to do a job, get the guy over to third, but you know, you're not really playing one run. You got a leadoff double. The guy can hit up at the plate. You want to score some runs, a crooked number. And you're not thinking that your starting pitcher is going to go out and shut out these Angels.
In the dirt, 2 balls and no strikes. Conger having trouble finding it, finally does, and back to second goes Martin.
See, Conger doesn't really know where it is. He's running out. Oh, there it is. Goes around Andrus. Andrus got his arms up.
That's a couple breaking balls now from Weaver that have been about 58 feet.
Yeah, I think he's hoping to get him at least 60. Sometimes, though, you just don't have that feel yet. You got to keep throwing it until you do get the feel.
There's a fastball, 2 balls and 1 strike. Leonys Martin on at second base, the leadoff double. Andrus trying to get him over. And now a pickoff play to second. The throw is wide for Ibar. Back in safely as Martin. It's no secret what Jared Weaver has meant to this Angels team. As you look at what Elvis Andrus has done in his career, which you touched upon in the open against Weaver. Long look back, the 2-1. Ground ball to second. He gets the man over. Kendrick retires Andrus. Down to third base goes Martin. 1 away.
Well, it's cliche, but it's the productive out right there. Andrus does his job, gets a runner over to third base for Chu.
Some high fives for him in the dugout.
Yeah, you know, you're coming back to the dugout. You know you did your job, and you're getting the obligatory high fives, but you're going, geez, man, I wish I could have driven him in. I wish I could have hit that line drive.
And now here's Shin-Soo Choo, who's playing with a bad ankle, takes the first pitch curveball for a strike. His numbers have suffered. .252, 6 home runs, 26 RBIs. Ron Washington, though, he's adamant. He says it's not because of the ankle that he's struggling. It's just part of baseball. And he pulls one to Kendrick. That'll get the run in. So an RBI ground out for Chu, and Texas takes the 1-0 lead.
Well, the Angels conceding the run with the infield back. Chu does his job. You know, the thing about that, you know, Ron Washington talking about the ankle not affecting the hitting, and you know, as a former hitter and getting in that box, you know, your feet, your legs are ever so important to hitting. And I just find it hard to believe that, you know, even just mentally, that it doesn't have some impact on how he feels in that box.
First pitch to Adrian Beltre is up and in for a ball. Beltre on the season, .307, 8 home runs and 35 RBIs. Is that just Washington almost trying to protect his players so that nobody's making excuses? Beltre in the air to left field. Hamilton comes over to his left, makes the catch, and that'll do it. 1 run on 1 hit, 1-0 Rangers on top. Angels, and here is the lineup for the Angels. Cole Calhoun will lead things off. Eric Ibar bats second. Mike Trout in the 3-hole with Albert Pujols getting the night off. Josh Hamilton will bat cleanup. Howie Kendrick bats fifth. In the 6th spot DHing is C.J. Cron. The bottom third of the order, Hank Conger, David Freese, and Efren Navarro to face the right-hander Nick Martinez. Calhoun, the right fielder, batting .273 with 5 home runs and 12 RBIs. Beltre in at third, and the first pitch fastball's in there for a strike. The numbers on Martinez: 1-4, a 4.44 ERA. His strikeout to walk ratio not what you're looking for, nearly 1-to-1. Breaking ball, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, you talk about that strikeout or that strike to ball ratio 1-to-1. What that does is that also elevates your pitch count, and he has only gotten into the 6 3 times.
Breaking ball misses, 2 balls and a strike.
And we talked about at the top of the show that the Rangers starting pitching really sets the tone for this ball club. They just haven't been able to get deep into a game, and that's taxed Ron Washington's bullpen.
Two 1 foul back, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Colby Lewis part of that starting rotation for the Rangers. Ron Washington, I was in Texas a couple weeks ago, and he spoke about, people said, are you using your bullpen too much? He's like, well, yeah, but what do you want me to do about it? Again, this entire team has been decimated by injuries. 2-2 breaking ball, line drive left center. There's Martin breaking over to make the catch, 1 away. The Angels, they made some moves here prior to the ball game. They released veteran Raul Ibanez. They sent Cam Bedrosian back down to Double-A. And so they called up Efren Navarro. He's got the start here tonight at first base. And they purchased the contracts of David Carpenter.
With Raul Ibanez, the Angels were doing everything they could to try to get him going. But it just wasn't working. The at-bats weren't there. He couldn't get anything going. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up with another ball club.
Yeah.
Even he could end up with these Texas Rangers.
Ibar takes the first pitch for a strike. Ibar on the season, .292, 5 home runs and 38 RBIs. Socha said, it's one of those things where you don't want to waive a guy like that. You don't want to release him because he's so valuable in the clubhouse. But what it also does is it frees up opportunities and some flexibility for Socha with allowing maybe Pujols to DH some games. And he can play C.J. Cron at first base or give Josh Hamilton a night off in the outfield. One in the air to right field. Michael Choice goes over a couple steps to his right, and they're 2 away here in the first. And now here comes Mike Trout, a guy who had his 13-game hitting streak snapped last night. But he's become one of those players, as you heard his teammates say in the open, you don't want to leave the dugout because you're afraid you might miss something great. He's one of those guys who is now a must-see at-bat each time he comes up.
Well, and you hit it right on the head in the opening. It's a must-see at-bat, but it's a must-see at-bat from his peers. And that is really the ultimate respect.
First pitch fastball misses low and inside. Did you see that OPS? Over 1,000.
Is that good?
It's all right.
For those of you at home, OPS is slugging percentage and on-base percentage. You add those two together.
Trout to left center field. Coming in is Chu, a late break, but he is there to make the catch. And a 1-2-3 inning work by Martinez. We're through 1. It's 1-0 Texas. picking up Torrey Hunter at the All-Star game back in '02, but some guys having some fun.
Yeah, Martin chiding him a little bit. Martin chiding him a little bit about that double that he hit. You know, Trout tried to throw him out at second. He went in standing up.
Top of the second, 1-0. Rangers on top of the Angels. It'll be Alex Rios, Brad Snyder, Robinson Chirinos to face Jared Weaver. First pitch fastball in there for a strike. Rios' numbers on the season: .319, 3 home runs, 33 RBIs. Doesn't have the big home run total, but he's gotten a lot of extra base hits. Breaking ball is pulled, fouled on a third baseline. 0-2. He's got 15 doubles and 8 triples on the season.
Yeah, the power will come, but he's not really a home run guy anyhow. I mean, he, 20 to 25, and again, he's been consistent. The team has an option for him next year. Probably a guy that they'd like to keep around. The Rangers aren't going to go into a rebuilding mode. Maybe a retooling mode. Get some of their guys back, but they've just got to weather the storm this year.
No balls, 2 strikes here to Rios. Up and in, 1-2. Were you ever on a team where you had these high expectations, legitimate chance to be the contender, and then all of a sudden
92 Dodgers, rookie year, we had the outfield of dreams: Eric Davis, and Brett Butler, and Darryl Strawberry. We went through a lot of injuries, and we threw out 99 losses that year, so that was pleasant. But I will say this about that season, and it's very similar to the Rangers. A lot of young guys were given opportunities to play and get their feet wet.
1-2 off the end of the bat down the left field line. Hamilton coming over, won't get there. Rios takes the turn, gonna try for 2. Here comes a throw, not in time. And at the second straight inning, the Rangers have had a leadoff double.
Didn't hit it all that hard, but it was a breaking ball. Gets it off the end of the bat, places it nicely. Able to walk in there, the double. This is important now. Now this is where you've got to pick up another run here, because then that gives you a 2-run lead.
This is Brad Snyder at the plate.
Snyder has to pull the ball in this situation.
First pitch breaking ball taken for a ball. Snyder 4 for 23 on the season, a 174 batting average, a home run, and 2 RBIs. And this is where it starts to get interesting for this Rangers lineup. Slow breaking ball swung and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And this is where, as a young player, you're being given an opportunity. You've got to impress the coaching staff. You've got to play the game the right way. And that's very important to Ron Washington. It's one thing about him as manager of the Rangers. You go out and you bust your butt every day, and you play the game the right way every day.
1-1, and he does the right way. The ground ball to Kendrick at second. Down to third base goes Rios. So Snyder does his job. 1 away, and Robinson Chirinos will step to the plate.
That's a nice at-bat right there by the youngster.
But you've had a lot of injuries when in your lineup every day you're rolling out a guy, and Snyder, who now wears number 64. Robinson Chirinos at the plate wears number 61. And Rougned Odor wears number 73, as Chirinos will bat with the infield in. First pitch swinging, pops one up in the infield. Ibar coming in from second. He'll call for it and make the catch. Excuse me. That was Kendrick making the catch. So not exactly what Chirinos was hoping for. 2 away now for Michael Choice.
See, this thing just popped straight up. Weaver just getting out of the way. He's like, I'm not touching that thing. I got nothing to do with it. And really, that's good. Just get out of the way so there's no confusion at all by the rest of your infielders.
2 outs now for Michael Choice. Up and in, 1 ball and no strikes. Choice has good power numbers. 8 home runs, 27 RBIs, but just a 196 batting average.
Well, you make a mistake to him, he'll hurt you.
1-0 curveball in there, first strike, 1-1. Weaver trying to get around that leadoff double by Alex Rios, who's at third base right now with 2 outs. Ground ball, Ibar in the hole. Throws on the run. Nice play by Eric Ibar. And Weaver gets out of the inning. No runs on 1 hit. 1 man left on. It's 1-0 Texas. Rangers lead the Angels. Nick Martinez will face Josh Hamilton leading off. A quick 1-2-3 inning work by Martinez in the first. And the first pitch fastball on the outside corner, first strike. Hamilton 330, 3 home runs, 15 RBIs. Outside, 1-1. Nick Martinez, a former second baseman at Fordham in New York City. You don't hear that very often. Hamilton to left field. There's Chu, 1 away. I mean, you hear of catchers becoming pitchers, maybe shortstops becoming pitchers, but second baseman?
Yeah, usually if you've got any kind of decent arm, you're playing shortstop or even third base. I thought you were going to talk about guys coming out of Fordham. There's one Hall of Famer out of Fordham, although he's not a player, he's an announcer. Just right up the freeway here, Vin Scully.
There are actually quite a few great broadcasters. Obviously, Vin Scully is the best out of Fordham. But Mike Breen, an NBA announcer, called the NBA Finals. Michael Kay, the broadcaster for the New York Yankees. No balls and 2 strikes here to Kendrick. He's hitting .274, 4 home runs, and 28 RBIs. I thought you were going to wow me with your knowledge of Fordham baseball players. 0-2, that's up and in. Watch out. 1-2.
Let's not get carried away with the knowledge part. Although I can tell you that when Vince Scully was at Fordham, he played against a team from Yale University that featured former President George Bush.
It's pretty good. He's had a pretty good life, I'd say, Vince Scully. Just called the no-hitter this past week. Clayton Kershaw. What a game that was. 2-2 breaking ball. Kendrick able to hold up 3-2. I'd tell you what was the coolest part for me about the no-hitter was because of technology today and having MLB at bat. And MLB.TV. I was able to watch it on my computer and on my phone and listen to Vince Scully's call. 3-2. Kendrick goes the other way. Back is Choice. Still going back. Choice able to make the catch on the run for out number 2. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that when Vince Scully was at Fordham, he never did this. April 20th, 2010. Check out this play. The guy who said safe, that was actually Nick Martinez. He was in the on-deck circle when his teammate, Brian Konecki, flipped over the catcher to score the run. 2 away for C.J. Cron, and he takes the first pitch breaking ball for a ball. Cron rips one foul.
And Cron's one of the guys that's going to benefit from Raul Ibanez being released. There'll be more at bats here. He'll get some DH time. He'll get some first base time.
One hit to center field. Martin going back by the warning track. Reaches for the wall, makes the catch. Another 1-2-3 inning. All 6 outs for Martinez have been in the air. Great walk-offs are waiting at foxsports.com/Budweiser. Grab some buzz. Rougned Odor will lead things off here in the third against Jared Weaver. 1-0 Texas leads Los Angeles. Justin Kutcher alongside Eric Karros here on Fox Sports 1. Odor, Martin, and Andrews due up here in the third. Squares around the bunt, takes the pitch up high for a ball. Rougned Odor, .299. with 3 home runs and 17 RBIs. He replaced another youngster in Jurickson Profar. Slow breaking ball missing. 2 balls and no strikes. And it just goes to show you the kind of depth that Texas does have in the minors, that you can replace a youngster with another youngster who hits .299.
Well, and he's had a nice start, but Ron Washington made the comment the other day that let's not get carried away. It's still only 80 at bats.
In comes Trout to make the catch, 1 away. You talked before about that 92 LA Dodger team and the young guys who got the experience, and how did that help you going forward?
Well, I think more than anything what it did is allowed guys to believe that they could play in the big league. So it's not that constant, especially as a young player, of pressing and trying to prove that, hey, I can play up here. You can just go out and play. Eric Young was on that ball club, who played many years at second base for a number of teams. Also the Colorado Rockies.
Leonis Martin takes the first pitch for a strike. He doubled back in the first, scored on the RBI ground out by Chu. 0-1 in the air to center field. Trout going back on the warning track in front of the wall, makes the catch. 2 away. So we keep on talking about all these youngsters and how they're getting a chance. Why? Well, look at all these players who are on the DL, and if you look at the names, these aren't just okay players. There are some star players who are gone for the year for this Texas Rangers ball club.
Yeah, these are impact players, guys that at their position were all expected to play a huge role in the success of this Texas Ranger ball club. And there were a number of experts that picked the Rangers to go deep into the postseason. But they've just been hit one after another.
A lot of people coming into this year even thought maybe Texas, as Elvis Andrus is at the plate, you know, with all these players they had when they made the trade in the offseason to get Prince Fielder, and they dealt away Ian Kinsler, freed up a spot for Profar at second base, that maybe they were the team that would get a David Price at the trade deadline and put them over that hump and let them make that big march in October.
Well, maybe they're not the team that's going to go out and acquire somebody at the deadline, but I don't think people should expect them to be a seller at the deadline. As Ron Washington was telling us prior to the game. So we trade a Beltre, now we've got a hole at third base. Or we trade a Rios, how are we going to replace him? And it makes all the sense in the world. The guys that are out, some of them they hope to get back. Derek Holland, Giovanni Soto, possibly after the All-Star break. Prince Fielder, wait till next year. Profar as well. You know, they get their guys back, and you add a piece. They're right back in the conversation next year of teams that, you know, have a chance to win, it all.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The count here to Andrus, who grounded out to second base his first time up. Weaver wants his catcher Hank Conger to go through the signs once again. Another 1-2. Fastball just missing inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 from Weaver. Fouled back. We'll do it again. On deck, Shin-Soo Choo. One of the 2 big acquisitions in the offseason. We talked about Prince Fielder. He came over via the trade. Choo signed the big free agent contract. Fouled away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now, with all the additions, there was a subtraction for the Rangers. Nelson Cruz, following his suspension last year, came back late, but he was not re-signed. Instead, he signed a 1-year deal with Baltimore, and all he's done is crush down at Camden Yards. 2-2, foul tipped. 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up.
You talk about Cruz, he's leading the American League in home runs with Baltimore. And that was a 1-year deal, I believe, for around $8 million.
Yep. Another 2-2 changeup. Now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Weaver trying for his first 1-2-3 inning of the night. By the way, Nelson Cruz hit a home run today.
Shocker.
The 3-2. Curveball to third base. Freeze. Tough backhand. Long throw. In time to get Andrews. A 1-2-3 inning by Jared Weaver. We're through 2.5. It's 1-0 Texas. One 0 Texas over the Angels. Hank Conger, David Freese, and Efrain Navarro to face Nick Martinez. All 6 outs have been via the flyout against Martinez. And the first pitch fastball is low and outside for ball 1. Conger on the season, 236, 3 home runs, and 16 RBIs. Swing and a miss, 1-1.
Ron Washington telling us that Martinez has good stuff. It's just, can he command the changeup and curveball? If he can, he's a very effective pitcher. If he can't, then it's just all fastball, fastball, fastball.
1-1 popped up. Andrews going back into left field. Coming in is Chu. Chu is there, and that's 7 in a row retired via the flyout. Major League Baseball, People Magazine, and Target are recognizing teachers in your community. Vote for the teacher who will represent your team at the 2014 All-Star Game, July 15th on Fox. Log on to allstarteachers.com and vote today. Who is your favorite teacher?
Wow, that's a good call right out. Mr. Roselle, 5th grade. How's that for you?
Pretty good.
You have a favorite?
2. Mr. Page and Ms. Doval.
Run that last one by me again.
Ms. Doval, my Spanish teacher.
Oh, no way is that Spanish. It's got to be French, right?
0-1 here to Freese. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Now, we mentioned that all the outs recorded by the Rangers have been fly ball. It'll be interesting to watch the second time through the lineup, because while they're outs, that's not really the way you want to record outs, just because that usually indicates guys are just missing. They make an adjustment or it finds a little more barrel of that bat. Things can fly out of here real quick.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Freese, who could not hold up on that last pitch. Breaking ball couldn't hold up again. First strikeout of the game for Martinez. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear with superior performing tires that knock it out of the ballpark. Goodyear, more driven. 2 away here in the 3rd. And Efrain Navarro will come to the plate. Navarro, who was recalled today from AAA Salt Lake, has played 11 games this year for the Angels. Fastball tails outside for ball 1. In his 11 games, .310, a couple of RBIs. Has good numbers in AAA though, .318, 4 home runs, 43 RBIs. The other way to left field. Chu, virtually in his tracks, makes the catch. A 9-pitch inning for Martinez. He has retired 9 in a row to start this game. Texas over the Angels. Shin-Soo Choo will lead things off here in the 4th against Weaver. Choo had the RBI ground out to second his first time up. First pitch change up, ground ball to second, and it's under the glove of Howie Kendrick. He thought that ball was coming up. Now Choo's going to try for 2, and he is out at second. Cole Calhoun came up firing and able to gun down Choo at second base to start the inning.
Well, I think what helped Calhoun is this ball was in the hole, so he was coming in already. And then when the ball scoots under Kendrick's glove, Calhoun is already in a good position. He's able to pick it up and just throws a rifle of a one-hopper. Ibar able to put the tag on Choo.
It's an E4 on Howie Kendrick and a 9-6 by Calhoun to Ibar. 1 away now for Adrian Beltre. Fastball tails inside for ball 1. Beltre flew out to left field his first time up. Slow breaking ball ripped to center field. A 1-out single for Beltre.
Beltre's just had a solid career. Coming up with the Dodgers, 18 years of age. Third baseman, 1998. Been around forever, but he's probably got another 3, 4, 5 good years.
I mean, look at that. He's 3 hits shy of 2,500 for his career.
I tell you, he plays as good a third base as anybody I've ever seen. And I got to say it, he does it with the most impressive thing. Does it without a cup.
I don't know how he does it.
I don't either. That just is crazy. That's a lot of trust in those hands.
The 0-1 to Rios. No balls and 2 strikes. Didn't he pay the price one time, though?
Yeah, but if it was only one time, I mean, that's still, there you go. That was great camera work, by the way. Man, we're in sync. We are good.
The 0-2 from Weaver. Outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. You know, you think about the career of Beltre, and came up, like you said, with the Dodgers, had that huge year, then went and signed the contract with the Mariners, and a disappointing tenure with Seattle. Ground ball to shortstop. Ibar to second for 1, over to first base, and a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play. No runs on a hit, 1 error, 1-0 Texas as we go to the bottom half of the 4th. Running into a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play, and then this is what he's upset about. The breaking ball that was called for a strike by home plate umpire Vic Carapazza, and then at the end of the inning, Ron Washington was already out. You see Rios said a couple of words. There goes Washington, and he gets ejected. Does Rios? So Rios is tossed from the game. He goes out to have a few words with Carapazza. But he is now gone. That's a quick hook.
Well, and you know what? That's frustrating. He's a hitter when the pitch misses by that much, and again, you're up there battling, and you just wonder, how can they miss a pitch that's 5-6 inches out? You're frustrated. You don't get the base hit. You come in there. You want to say something. As an umpire, you just let the guy have his say and then move on.
Cole Calhoun. He takes the first pitch breaking ball from Nick Martinez for a strike.
Just to hit it one more time, the player is emotionally invested in the game. The umpires, there should not be any emotion involved. They go out there, they do the game, give the player a little leeway.
Fastball's in there for a strike, 0-2.
The good umpires do.
The 0-2 for Martinez is up high, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Calhoun lined out to center field his first time up. On deck is Eric Ibar. Martinez has retired the first 9 men in a row to start this ball game. The 1-2. Breaking ball pulled to first base. Snyder will take it to the back himself. 1 away. Hard hit ball, but right at Brian Snyder.
And that's the first ball that was hit on the ground to be recorded for an out. So I said this time around the lineup is going to be interesting to see how these hitters approach Martinez and how their at bats go. That one first at bat, ball was smoked.
Mike Trout on deck. Eric Ibar at the plate. Ibar flew out to center field his first time up. First pitch, pops it up. Foul territory. Chirino's the catcher, able to make the catch. 2 away. Mike Trout, well, they say the 5 tools: hitting, speed, defense, arm, and power. He has definitely got 4 of them. The only one in question is the arm, but he's got an accurate arm.
Just exciting to watch, and exciting to watch in all facets of the game. There are a number of guys that you just want to watch them from their power, or you want to watch them play defense, or when they get on the bases. But anytime this man takes the field, you're glued.
Look what he has done since May 20th.
And that's coming off a stretch where he was really struggling. And that's a thing that also has been impressive in his young career, is when he does have stretches where he's not seeing the ball or not swinging or not putting the numbers up that people have become accustomed. He gets himself out of those situations. It's not a 4-month deal.
I'm just amazed, guys like yourself or your peers who have been around the game for a long time, played at such a high level. After his first full year in the big leagues, guys were saying he's the best they've ever seen. I mean, that's unbelievable.
Well, again, it's just the many things that he does. Are there better hitters? Maybe. Are there guys that play a better outfield? Maybe. But there's not somebody that does everything as well.
2-1 is down low. Now 3 balls and a strike here to Trout. You hear people who saw Mickey Mantle play. They say this guy is the closest thing to Mickey Mantle that we've seen. The difference is he's not a switch hitter. He just hits right-handed. The way he's built, the way he runs. 3-1, popped up. Foul territory. And it's Snyder who makes the catch. 12 in a row. Shut down by Martinez. 1-0 Texas. Southern California, top of the 5th inning, 1-0. Rangers lead the Angels. Justin Kutcher alongside Eric Karros here on Fox Sports 1. Brad Snyder will lead things off here against Jared Weaver. The 1 run came in the first, a leadoff double by Leonis Martin, a ground out by Andrews moved him over to third, and a ground out by Chu got him in. That's all the scoring we've had so far. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Snyder, he grounded out to second base his first time up, but that moved Alex Rios over to third base with just 1 out, but the Rangers could not get him in. Good change up, 1-1.
Snyder playing first base. He's a converted outfielder. Again, just illustrating what the Rangers have had to go through so far this year.
On the inside corner, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 from Weaver. Up high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Snyder getting the time at first base now with Mitch Moreland out. Moreland having season-ending surgery on his ankle. 2-2, called strike 3. First strikeout of the night for Jared Weaver.
This just an off speed right down the middle. Freezes Snyder. And that's the thing about Weaver, comes at you from different angles. He'll throw a variety of pitches at any time. For me as a hitter, you just want to look for location with Weaver. Set in a certain spot. Be disciplined enough to lay off pitches until you get that location.
First pitch from Weaver to Chirinos in their first strike. Chirinos popped out to second his first time up. So there were pitchers that you looked at for location, not necessarily going up looking fastball. Or...
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, there were guys like a hard thrower, Randy Johnson. I was just looking for a fastball. He threw me sliders. I mean, I had no chance. Other guys like a Maddox or somebody, you're looking for a location, a spot. He wasn't going to overpower you.
1-1 in the air to right field. Calhoun comes in, 2 away here in the 5th.
But we look at Weaver tonight. He's throwing that fastball 89, 90 miles an hour, 88. He's not a guy that's going to overpower you, but what he does do, he's got movement. It's not an easy delivery to pick up, and you see right there, 89 mile an hour has been his top fastball, and then that 68 mile an hour off speed, that's 21 mile an hour difference, which again, that throws off the hitter's rhythm, and that's what you want. You want to keep a hitter off balance. That's how you get him out.
Michael Choice grounded out to shortstop his first time up. What was more difficult, facing a guy who didn't throw hard but mixed up his speeds, or a guy who threw hard but
For me personally, it was the guy that just didn't throw hard but was nitpicking everywhere.
0-2, and that one is a foul ball. Hit the bat. Choice couldn't sell it well enough that it hit him.
No, that's the thing. When you're up there 0-2 or something like that, that's when you start selling that. Ow, I grabbed my arm. Ow, and you know what you do? You kind of bend over. You can pinch your arm, to get a red mark. Well, no, seriously. I mean, you pinch the arm, you get a nice red mark, you show the umpire. I mean, absolutely.
You would do that?
I did it. Absolutely, I did it. Absolutely, I did it. There are a lot of guys that have done it. I watched Derek Jeter do it. Yeah, you got to, 0-2, that's not really a good hitter's count.
1-2, fouled straight back. Look at Weaver's pitch count by inning. Gave up leadoff doubles in both the first and the second. Got some help from Cole Calhoun in the 4th, throwing out Shin-Soo Choo, trying to get to second base. Another 1-2 pitch from Weaver. Good job laying off by Choice, and it's 2-2. Pulled foul. I know I say this a lot, but if I don't have a glove and I'm a fan sitting down there, I don't know if I go to try to catch that ball. I'm shocked we don't see more broken hands, fingers, thumbs.
Well, we may have broken hands. We're not following those fans home. Or you could bring your glove to the ballpark.
Choice, did he go? He did not. Says first base umpire Bill Miller. Now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ninth pitch of the at-bat coming up here. The payoff pitch. Breaking ball missing outside. Good at-bat by Choice to work the 2-out walk. That'll bring up Rougned Odor.
That's the type of pitcher that Weaver, again, he's not going to overpower you. He's going to try to keep you off balance, try and trick you. And there he goes with the 3-2 breaking ball. You know, guys that are really like their fastball, they're going to just pump one at you at 3-2. Say, all right, let's go to work, guys.
Odor flew out to center field his first time up. Choice does have good speed. Just 1 for 1 on the year in stolen bases, though.
Well, remember, the Rangers stole 4 bases last night. They're in that mode, too, of, hey, look, we can try things. We can force the issue. We can. The worst thing that happens is Odor leads off next inning if it's thrown out. Choice.
Low and inside. 1 ball and no strikes to Odor. Is base stealing something you learn or just something that you have naturally?
I think that's a learn. It can be learned. How's that? And there are nuances. I know that Maury Wills, while I was with the Dodgers, spent a lot of time with us. And there were things that I picked up from him. Believe it or not, Eddie Murray, who played first base for the Dodgers, not very fleet of foot, but there are situations. You can look at catchers set up. You can watch the pitchers. You can look for certain keys. But you get that combination of speed and knowledge. That's deadly.
1 ball, 1 strike, the count here to Odor. Pulled down the right field line. Calhoun goes over to cut it off. Choice going to third. Odor will stop at first. Runners on the corners. 2 outs here for the Rangers. So once again, the Rangers have something going. The question is, can Weaver, who's had to labor through the first 4 2/3, can he get out of it without any damage?
Well, you go back to this inning, 2 quick outs, and then Choice has the great at bat. Made Weaver work quite a bit, and then ends up walking him. Odor with the single, and now you got the top of the lineup.
Leonis Martin, 1 for 2, a double and a fly out to center. An awkward swing, fooled on that pitch, 0-1. The 0-1, Odor takes off from first, and Conger will hold on to that one. A stolen base for Odor. That's his first one.
It's 5 stolen bases now so far in the series for the Rangers. Good pitch to run on. Conger has no chance with that ball bouncing in the dirt.
So now 2 men in scoring position here for Leonis Martin. The Rangers 0 for 5 tonight with runners in scoring position, 1 for 13 in the series. A single right here, though, and that should score 2 with the speed of Odor on at second base.
Well, Navarro at first base, not respecting Martin at all as far as his ability to bunt.
Good breaking ball, fooled Leonis Martin. It's 1-2.
And now you don't have to worry about it, but you see what Navarro was. All he had to do was drop one down.
Got him with a changeup. A big strikeout by Weaver. The Rangers leave 2 more in scoring position. Man that he has faced through the first 4 innings. Just 1 strikeout. He'll face Josh Hamilton, Howie Kendrick, and C.J. Cron here in the 5th. An old school shift is on for Hamilton here in the 5th. Chasing the first pitch high fastball for strike 1. Hamilton lined out to left field his first time up. Good off-speed pitch, and it's quickly 0-2. Sprayed the other way, foul. Stays no balls and 2 strikes here to Hamilton.
Martinez has been pitch effective so far. Some of the things that have plagued him in his earlier starts is just getting that elevated pitch count. So far, you take a look, 44 pitches. We'll move here into the 5th.
Trying to elevate that fastball, change the eye level of Hamilton. 1-2. Good pitch gets Hamilton a chase. And that's strikeout number 2 for Martinez.
This pitch out of the zone. Bounces, in fact. Hamilton going after it.
You said it last week on the broadcast against the Braves that it seems like sometimes Hamilton makes up his mind before the pitch comes that he's going to swing.
Yeah, he really does. But he's got the ability to hit balls out of the zone. Now, when they're bouncing out of the zone, that's usually a little tougher.
That's only Vlad Guerrero territory.
Yeah, that's right. But Hamilton, again, has the ability to get the barrel on the ball as well as anybody. And he hits a lot of bad balls.
1 ball, no strikes to Kendrick. Flew out to right field his first time up. In the air to right again. Choice on the run on the warning track makes the catch. 2 away. Tuesday, July 15th, baseball's best gather in Minnesota as the captain Derek Jeter takes the field in his last All-Star game ever in what promises to be an emotional and unforgettable night. Special coverage begins at 4:30 p.m. on Fox Sports 1, followed by the 2014 All-Star Game at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox.
He'll be there?
Yeah, that's for sure. One of the leading vote getters right now. 2 outs for C.J. Cron. Pulls the first pitch foul, 0-1. Cron flew out to center field his first time up. All the way to just in front of the wall. The 0-1 by Martinez. Up high, 1-1. Economical with those pitches for Nick Martinez.
Yeah, it really has, and very consistent.
Fly ball to right, in comes Choice, and that's now 15 in a row retired by Martinez. 1-0 Texas. Are recognizing teachers in your community. Vote for the teacher who will represent your team at the 2014 All-Star Game, July 15th on Fox. Log on to allstarteachers.com and vote today. And MLB.tv Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 12 years. Join the millions of subscribers. Watch every out-of-market game live in True HD on over 400 devices. Visit MLB.com for details. And if you're not by a TV right now and you're by your phone, well, certainly log on, because so far it's been Nick Martinez's night. Elvis Andrus at the plate. He takes the first pitch inside for ball 1 from Weaver. Martinez has retired the first 15 batters that he has faced. And as he gets through 5 innings, nobody's talking to him. Andrews to his counterpart, Ibar. And there's one away here in the 6th.
Nice play by Ibar. He robbed Andrews last night as well. This kid can absolutely play some short. Andrews has probably had enough of him.
One away for Chu. Reached on the air in the 4th, but got thrown out, trying to stretch it into 2 extra bases. Thrown out by Cole Calhoun. And the first pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Breaking ball, fouled back. 0-2. It's been a tough week for the Texas Rangers family. They lost one of their reporters, ESPN Dallas reporter Richard Durrett, just a 38-year-old. I'm not going to say that I knew him, but from everyone that has spoken about him, a great guy. Passed away Tuesday night. 2 kids, another one on the way. The Rangers have set up a foundation where you can donate for him. You go to texasrangers.com/foundation, or you can mail a donation to the Richard Durrett Family Fund. It's terrible news for a young guy gone far too early. Ground ball to second base, 2 away here in the 6th. I don't know about you, but I'm someone who puts a lot of stock into what people say about other people, and I haven't heard a bad thing said about Richard Durrett. Everyone speaks so highly of him.
Yeah, just the way that the Ranger organization has embraced this situation. His colleagues, peers. And again, as you mentioned, nothing but glowing things to talk about. Not only his dealings around the ballpark, but as a family man and as a person. As you mentioned, sad. Much too young.
1 ball and 1 strike here to Beltre, who singled his last time up. Two outs here, top of the 6th, 1-0. Rangers lead the Angels. Chases the high fastball, and that swing gets everyone with the ooh and the ah. That's like a Dave Winfield type swing.
And he's not getting cheated up there. She's got that back elbow tuck, just swings underneath it. Again, those high fastballs, they look good, but real tough to get to.
The 1-2 from Weaver. Rushes Beltre back, pushed him off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
See, so the predictable thing is to go outside. Come right back in there here. I'd come right back in. Yeah, there they go.
And it's ripped foul. Now we saw the eyes of Hank Conger there looking at the feet of Beltre. Was that to see if he had backed off the plate at all?
Yeah, you're looking at feet, you're looking at the head. You don't want to have the hitter cheating or anything. And you see he's looking up.
Now they're going outside. 2-2 popped up. Navarro goes back in the outfield grass. Coming over is Kendrick. He'll make the catch, and a 1-2-3 inning work by Weaver. 1-0 Texas on top of the Angels. this game. Hank Conger, David Freese, Efren Navarro here in the 6th. And the first pitch fastball tails outside for ball 1.
I really thought the second time around, after retiring all of the hitters on fly balls, that this Angel lineup would get to Martinez.
Misses, 2 balls and no strikes.
But not yet.
Pitcher coach Mike Maddox looking on. Fouled back into the seats. 2 balls and 1 strike to Conger, who flew out to left field his first time up.
You know, the Angels are taking some pretty big cuts. It's not like they're getting fooled or they look uncomfortable in the box. But again, Martinez has been good enough to miss barrels of the bat.
Line drive to left field, tailing away from Chu, and there's the first hit. Conger into second base with a leadoff double. And these fans rise to their feet. They don't want to see history made against their own team.
Well, he's done a nice job up to this point, but again, the first time through the lineup, the Angels, every one of those guys flew out. That Conger, his last at bat, he flew out to left field. This time he was able to drive it a little better.
Now David Freese at the plate. Struck out his first time up. Trying to go the other way with it. Fouls it off into the seats, 0-1. Freese now hitting .225 on the season. Just missing inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Martinez, his last start came in Seattle. Suffered the loss, but had a good one. 6 innings, 9 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. He has suffered 3 straight losses, though. Tries to go back inside, misses again, 2-1.
Well, and this inning's been the Achilles heel for this Texas Ranger ball club. In their last 4 games, the starter has not been able to go more than 6 innings. And that's been the big problem this year. Just haven't been able to get enough production out of the starters.
Fouled off again, 2 balls and 2 strikes. You look at what the pitching staff has done for the Rangers this year. 10+ runs the starting pitchers have allowed in 7 games. But then on the flip side, again, all or nothing, 13 shutouts.
A lot of that is Darvish.
Two breaking ball, and now it's 3-2. On deck is Efren Navarro. The payoff pitch. Ground ball up the middle. Andrews will have to go to first. Good base running by Conger. Goes down to third base. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. With superior performing tires that knock it out of the park. Goodyear, more driven. 1 out now for Efren Navarro, getting the start at first base. After Albert Pujols left last night's ball game with back spasms, getting the night off here tonight. Trying to tie this ball game up. The infield will be brought in with Navarro at the plate. He flew out to right field his first time up. First pitch breaking ball taken for a ball. Navarro, a guy who played 900 career games in the minors. Talk about paying your dues.
Well, it's just persistence. You know, you got that dream. You don't want to give it up. Keep plugging away. Finally gets an opportunity here.
Inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Martinez retired the first 15 men he faced. Gave up an opposite field double to Hank Conger leading off here in the 6th. Conger moved to third base in the ground out by Freese. And here we are with 1 out and a 2-0 count to the number 9 hitter, Efren Navarro. Outside, now 3 balls and 1 strike. With the top of the order, Cole Calhoun on deck. Taking all the way, takes it right down the middle for a strike.
Young hitter right now. You don't want to get too anxious. You've got the infield in. Look for something up in the zone.
A 3-1. Swing and a miss. 3-2.
That's the whole idea. As a hitter, you get greedy. And it happens to everybody. Get in that box. You got the infield in. A guy on third. You want to do some damage. Sometimes you get out of your zone. See right there, the infield in from the blimp.
The 3-2. Ground ball to first. Snyder only plays 2 first. An RBI ground out by Navarro. We're tied at 1.
Well, you see, they're going on contact. The minute that ball's hit, Conger races from third base. Snyder, remember, last night had a ground ball hit to him, and he threw home, threw wide. Angels ended up scoring 2 runs on the play. Only play he had tonight. Flipped the ball to Martinez. Smart play by the first baseman. We got ourselves a ball game, a tie ball game.
A leadoff double comes around to score. 2 outs. Base is empty now for Cole Calhoun. Calhoun, a fly out and a ground out. First pitch swinging, fouls one back out of play. The 0-1 from Martinez. Popped up. Long run. Andrews into foul territory with Beltre, and they both just give way to each other. And the ball drops between them. Usually that's the shortstop's ball, right?
Yeah, the shortstop's got the better angle on that right now. You just don't know if anything was said, or Andrews saw Beltre out of the corner of his eye. But both of them shied away.
And both of them were there in plenty of time to make the catch. So no balls and 2 strikes. The count to Calhoun. Essentially gets another chance. And you can see the frustration for Adrian Beltre. A nice June for Cole Calhoun. And he chases the high fastball. 3rd strikeout of the night for Martinez. But the perfect game is gone. So is the lead. We're tied at 1. against Nick Martinez. A leadoff double in the 6th. Came around to score on the RBI groundout by Efren Navarro. We're all tied up at 1 as we go to the 7th. Jared Weaver to face Donnie Murphy. Murphy to hit for the first time. Now the DH taking over for Alex Rios, who was ejected after he grunted into a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play back in the 4th. Murphy on the year, a .210 hitter with 4 home runs and 14 RBIs. And the first pitch breaking ball didn't break, missing up high for ball 1. Out in front of that pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jared Weaver hasn't had his best stuff, but he's kept his team in the game long enough where they tied it up at 1. Goes right to the same pitch, same result, 1-2.
Hey, except for a few leadoff doubles, I mean, he's been basically unhittable. Change speeds, kept the hitters off balance. Been very effective tonight.
And there's a strikeout. Strikeout number 3 for Weaver. 1 away here in the 7th.
You see, set him up with the off speed, then you just throw the fastball. And even though that fastball is 88, 89 miles an hour, it's great location. Murphy just swings right through it.
One away now for Brad Snyder. Snyder's 0 for 2. A ground out and a strikeout. Fastball tails outside for ball 1. Slow ground ball. That's a foul ball. 1-1. Top of the 7th inning here at Angel Stadium. 1 run on 4 hits and no errors for the Rangers. 1 run on 1 hit and 1 error for the Angels. Nick Martinez had a perfect game through 5 innings. Gave up a leadoff double to Conger to open up the 6th. Good changeup, 1-2.
Well, both guys have done what we talked about at the top of the show. Weaver's kept the ball in the park, hasn't been susceptible to any long ball. And Martinez has got through 6 innings for the Texas Rangers.
Goes to the off-speed pitch again. Back-to-back strikeouts for Weaver. 2 away here in the 7th. And next Saturday, it's a full day of Major League Baseball action, beginning with these Rangers heading home to take on the Twins on Fox Sports 1. And it's Baseball Night in America on Fox as the Red Sox battle Derek Jeter and the Yankees. Yadier Molina and the Cardinals take on Yasiel Puig and the Dodgers, and the Braves square off against the Phillies, or the Nationals take on the Cubs. Our MLB doubleheader begins next Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 1 and continues at 7 p.m. Eastern on Fox. 2 away now for Robinson Chirinos, who fouls the first pitch away. 0-1. Popped out in the 2nd, flew out in the 5th. Ground ball up the middle. Ibar is there. And a quick 1-2-3 inning worked by Weaver. It's stretch time here in Anaheim, tied up at 1. Mr. Padre passed away on Monday after a long battle with cancer. And from those quotes, he was obviously an incredible hitter, but just a great person too. The laugh, the smile, can light up a room.
It really could. I remember growing up in San Diego as a minor league ball player. I was able to go to what was then Jack Murphy Stadium. Gerald Clark and Tony Gwynn in the winter were hitting. Rob Piccolo was throwing, and they let me work out with him in the batting cage. And, just talking to him. And I'd go back a little further. I was a big San Diego State Aztec basketball fan, and I used to go watch Tony play point guard for Smokey Gaines and the Aztecs. Great athlete. Tony's going to be missed.
I got a chance to meet him a few years ago when he was coaching at San Diego State as Eric Ibar's at the plate. And of course the prized possession for San Diego State at the time was Steven Strasburg. And I'm interviewing Gwynn about Strasburg, and I said, what makes him so good? He said, well, you know that two-seam fastball that Greg Maddux threw that would come back on you? I said, yeah, well, he throws it at 97 to 98 miles per hour. So I said, so you're saying you wouldn't hit him? He goes, oh no, I'd get him. Hit to left field. Chu heading over towards the line, makes the catch in fair territory. Speaking of Maddux, look at what Gwynn did against this trio of Hall of Fame pitchers.
Pretty good right there. And you look right underneath it. 325 career average versus Hall of Fame pitchers. I remember sitting in our meetings when we go over, how we're going to pitch guys and what we're going to do. And, Tony Gwynn, seriously, we just skip over him, or somebody would make a smart aleck, comment, throw it down the middle and let him get himself out. But really, that was the approach. There was nothing. He was going to have to make a mistake because that was the only way he was getting himself out.
One away now for Mike Trout, who's 0 for 2. Fouled out his last time up, lined out to left field his first time up. One thing I was told about Gwynn that I'm still just amazed about is he would call his own hit and runs from the batter's box. 1 ball, 1 strike. He'd see the way the defense was lined up, and he'd step out, touch his batting helmet. Next thing you know, hit and run is on. He'd hit it to the vacated hole. I think that's just awesome. Up and in. 2 balls and a strike here to Trout. Nick Martinez has now gone 6 1/3, the longest outing of his career. Two balls and 2 strikes. I think Michael Young said it best, though, on Monday. He put out a tweet that said, now Ted Williams has someone to talk hitting with in heaven. The 2-2 to Trout. Missing inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. On deck is Josh Hamilton here in a tie game, 1-1, bottom half of the 7th. The payoff pitch. Trout pops one up. Odor, that's second. On the outfield grass, 2 away.
Left fielder, number 32, Josh Hamilton.
2 away now for Josh Hamilton. Hamilton is 0 for 2. He struck out his last time up. Just 3 strikeouts in the game for Martinez. But 14 batters have been retired via flyout or a pop out. And the first pitch to Hamilton misses outside for ball 1. But if you're Ron Washington, you can't ask for anything more from Nick Martinez.
Well, again, the starting pitching has been an issue. He's answered that call tonight.
The struggles are well documented for the starters for the Rangers. Ahead in the count, 1-2 to Hamilton. The 1-2. Up high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. If Martinez can retire Hamilton here, he will have faced just 1 over the minimum through 7 innings. That leadoff double to Conger in the 6th, who came around to score on the RBI ground out by Navarro. 2-2 is down low, now 3-2. The payoff pitch. Missing down low and inside, the first walk of the night issued by Martinez.
See Mike Maddox, fine pitching coach for the Rangers, on the phone. You know, of all the guys tonight so far that have faced Martinez, Howie Kendrick has hit the ball hard twice. Both times going to Michael Choice out in right field. See right there the 2 lineouts.
Throw back to first. Hamilton's back there safely. He's 3 for 3 on the year in stolen bases.
And you look at the outfield, shifted towards the right center field area. The center fielder, left fielder is in left center. Again, Kendrick known for driving the ball to right center.
Ground ball. Beltre has to make the long throw to first. He does, and that'll do it here in the 7th. No runs on no hits. 1 man left on. We're through 7. Tied up at 1. Leonis Martin had that leadoff double to open up the ball game and scored the only run for the Rangers. A single by Beltre, a single by Odor. That's it. First pitch curveball in there for a strike to Michael Choice. Nick Martinez has now gone a career high 7 innings, but he's locked into a pitcher's duel against Jared Weaver. Fastball at the knees for a strike, going to Choice. Walked his last time up, a great at bat. And he grounded out to shortstop his first time up. Oh, 2 is yanked foul. We'll do it again.
Choice has 8 home runs on the year. Make a mistake to him, put one in the seats real quick. A 195 average isn't so intimidating, but.
Foul back. Again, we'll do it at 0-2. Over 37,000 here tonight to watch this ball game between the Rangers and the Angels. Another 0-2 from Weaver. Breaking ball, missing up high and outside, 1-2. The 1-2. Got him swinging. Strikeout number 5 for Weaver. Time for our first game break. Let's go back to the studios and check in with Kevin Burkhardt. All right, thanks so much, Kevin. It's a 1-1 ball game here in Anaheim. Top of the 8th inning, and Jared Weaver's strikeouts have added up here now in the last inning and a third. He has struck out 3 of the last 4 batters, and he'll face Rougned Odor, who singled his last time up. First pitch is high and outside for ball 1. Changeup is outside with pitch number 100. And it's 2 balls and no strikes to Odor. The bullpen right now is quiet for the Angels. Guys are just now starting to stretch out there. (2-0) breaking ball in the air to right field. Calhoun comes in. Makes the catch, 2 away. Weaver on the night. Again, hasn't had his best stuff, but he's kept his team in there, giving up just 4 hits.
Yeah, you got the 5 strikeouts, and again, not overpowering. 88, 89 on the fastball, throwing the off speed a lot. The curveball, the changeup, throwing them at any time in the count.
Leonis Martin at the plate with 2 outs. Takes that first pitch curveball outside for a ball. Martin 1 for 3. That double in the run in the first. A fly out to center and a strikeout his last time up. High and outside, 2-0. Nick Martinez has the jacket on. Neil Kotz has been thrown out there in the bullpen for Texas. And you wonder, with the way that he's been throwing, is Martinez night done? You've got Crone, Conger, and Freese due up for the Angels in the 8th. Slow curveball. Now it's 3-0 to Martin. Is that a deep breath or a yawn?
I think it was a frustration that he's 3-0 and he just threw a 2-0 curveball that wasn't able to locate to Martin. Got to be careful with this pitch right now. Martin may have the green light.
High and outside, a 4-pitch 2-out walk issued to Martin. And with Martin on the bases, you know he's a threat to go, especially with 2 outs here in a tie game in the 8th.
Yeah, you've got to run, and remember the Rangers have been 5 for 5 in stolen base opportunities so far in this series. 4 last night, 1 earlier tonight.
Mike Morin starts to throw out there in the bullpen as Mike Butcher comes out to speak with Weaver and Conger. And with Leonis Martin on the bases, 16 of 22 in stolen bases on the year. You got a guy in Elvis Andrus at the plate. Tie game, 2 outs in the 8th. The question is not if Martin's going to run, but when he's going to run.
Well, if you include tonight, when Weaver's been on the hill, they've only been successful in throwing out runners 4 out of 14 times.
Wow.
As you mentioned, you just got to pick a spot here and run.
If you're Mike Scioscia, do you pitch out at all?
I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to hope Weaver holds him, does a better job of throwing over first and keeping him close.
Martin able to get back on that pickoff play.
Yeah, Weaver's not just saying, hey, I know you're over there. He's trying to catch somebody napping right there. I mean, he's throwing about 1,000 miles an hour over to the first baseman.
Hey, at least the sun's not out, right?
Jeez, yeah.
Doing his best Kevin Brown impersonation.
Oh, yeah.
There he goes. The pitch is outside. Conger's throw not in time. Stolen base number 17 for Martin.
Well, he just knew that was coming. Again, the Rangers can be aggressive. No chance at all for Conger. So Andrews has a chance here. And again, we talked about at the top of the show, he's had past success against Weaver, hitting him at over a 350 clip, but tonight has not found a way to get down to first base yet.
0 for 3 with 3 groundouts. The Rangers 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Curveball in there, 1-1 in the series for the first 2 games. 1 for 14 with runners in scoring position are the Rangers. Tough to win ball games when you're doing that at the plate. They'll look back to second. Nobody's there. Popped up. Back is Navarro in foul territory. Makes the catch. And that'll do it. 1 man left on and run it in scoring position. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 1-1 ball game. And the rally monkey has come out. A 1-1 ball game. As C.J. Cron will lead things off, Jared Weaver has done his part. He's gone 8 strong. Nick Martinez has already gone a career-high 7 innings. And you kind of had the feeling this is a pitch or a batter by batter scenario for Martinez. If he can get Cron out, he'll face the next one. And the first pitch is in there for a strike. Cron is 0 for 2, a fly out to center and a fly out to right. Conger, the lefty, is on deck. Conger, the only hit of the night for the Angels.
That fly out to center was right at the warning track.
And now Cron to left field. Going back is Chu at the wall. Chu reaches up. Gone. C.J. Cron, and that gives the Angels the 1-run lead. Martinez, who has pitched so well, now trails by a run. And he will face Conger. How close was this to being the first out of the inning?
Again, look at that back elbow tucked. He gets his hands through. Ball's up.
Wow. Was that off his glove?
Looked like that hit off of Chu's glove. And he was unobstructed. Take a look at that. Up. Yeah, it just hit off the top of his glove.
C.J. Cron, who's going to see more playing time after the Angels released Raul Ibanez today, comes up big with a home run here in the 8th as Conger fouls it back, still 0-2.
Well, and he just missed one his first at bat. He flew out deep to center field. He was getting good swings.
Former first-round pick of the Angels. Two breaking ball in the dirt, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fans, follow every game with MLB.com at bat on your favorite mobile phone or tablet. Get live look-ins, instant replays, scores, stats, audio, free MLB.tv, game of the day, and more. Download on the App Store or visit MLB.com today. Outside, it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. So there's good news and there's bad news right now for the Angels. The good news is you have a 2-1 lead. The bad news is
you have to go
the
to the
bullpen
That's it.
has been kind of in disarray recently.
Well, Mike Scioscia telling us, though, now he goes to matchup situations. So, you know, for him, I think Smith is the guy right now.
He's got Jepson warming up out there in the bullpen. Do you let Weaver go back out?
Well, let me look at who he's facing. I don't know. I don't think I let Weaver go back out. He's going to the middle of the lineup. You got Chu, Beltre, and then Murphy. You know, you got to look at the numbers and who does well against those guys. And Mike Scioscia must like what Jepson has done. Weaver's over 100 pitches.
He's at 108.
And how about that? Scoreless in his last 19 appearances. Forget matchups. That's good enough for me. Jepson, run him out there.
Here's Conger climbing all the way back to 3-2. The payoff pitch. A chopper. And that is foul. Martinez hopped off the mound, realizing that that could have been an easy out. Got a feel for this kid Martinez, though. Retired the first 15 men he faced. A leadoff double to Conger in the 6th. Came around to score on the RBI ground out by Navarro. And a leadoff homer to C.J. Cron here in the 8th. He's given up 2 hits and he trails 2-1. Ninth pitch of the at-bat. 3-2 line drive and make it 3 hits. Hank Conger's got 2 of those 3 hits. Runner on first, nobody out. The McDonald's winning ingredients game summary. Mike Trout 0 for 3. Had his 13-game hit streak snap last night. Martinez, here he is, pitching into the 8th inning. And C.J. Cron with that solo home run here in the 8th has given the Angels the 2-1 lead. Ron Washington is out. And Nick Martinez is done, but he gets some high fives from his teammates for a job well done. Neil Kotz is coming in. Hits a walk, 3 strikeouts, 2 runs, and he's responsible for the runner Conger on base. The reliever now in is Neil Kotz. Kotz on the season is 2-3 with a 3.41 ERA. To face David Freese. Line drive. Andrews catches, throws to first, but Conger's back safely. Here are the numbers on Kotz.
Well, you see, he's already been in 33 games in the season. More of a matchup guy, but somebody that Ron Washington not afraid to use. A lot of movement. Formerly the White Sox. Again, just trying to keep this a 1-run ball game. Give that middle of the Ranger lineup a chance.
Efrain Navarro had the RBI ground out back in the 6th to score Conger and tie the game up at 1 at that point. Fastball is outside for ball 1. Efrain Navarro again recalled from AAA Salt Lake today to replace Raul Ibanez, who was released. Also, Cam Bedrosian was optioned to AA. And the Angels purchased the contract of David Carpenter. 1 ball and 1 strike. Albert Pujols with the night off, back spasms last night. So Efrain Navarro in his place has come through the RBI ground out in that 6th inning. One and 2. By the way, Jared Weaver now is set up to pick up the win if the Angels can hang on, which would move his record against the Rangers here at home to 10-0.
That's amazing. He pitched a great ball game tonight. Kept the Rangers off balance.
Down low with a fastball, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And I know we talked about it before, but I love the fact that, again, he didn't have his best stuff, but he was able to battle and like you said, keep the Rangers hitters off balance. Not overpowering stuff, but still gets through 8, giving up just 1 run.
But again, Weave's that guy right now that he's not the 94 or anything like that. He's 88, 89. 2-2. A 1-hopper to Andrews.
And they get the force out at second. Time for the King play of the day, brought to you by Burger King. And it is a home run by C.J. Cron here in the 8th inning, leading off against Nick Martinez.
Just look at that back elbow tucked in. Love that right there. And Chu, oh, I got it. I ain't got it. Off his glove, and then, hey, another young superstar, Trout. There's some excitement right there.
2 outs, runner on first. Top of the order, Cole Calhoun at the plate. Again, Kevin Jepson is warming up in the bullpen for the Angels. Fouled back, 0-1.
Now, as we mentioned, for the Rangers coming up in that top of the ninth, you have Shin-Soo Choo, you've got Adrian Beltre and Murphy all scheduled. Adrian Beltre, if they bring in Jepson, 5 for 10 with a home run.
Yeah, he's even impressed with that. The second time tonight he's been on cue.
Gonna invoice us.
Good pitch. A nice block by Chirinos beyond the plate. 0-2 to Calhoun, who's 0 for 3. Struck out his last time up.
Well, I don't think you can go anywhere. The Rangers get out of this right here. They go to the top of the ninth. The Angel bullpen has been less than consistent. Got Adrian Beltre, a possible future Hall of Famer, coming to the plate. Going to be exciting.
The 0-2 from Cox. In the dirt, 1-2. Eric Ibar on deck. The runner took off. They've got him picked off. And now slipping and falling is Navarro, and that's how this inning will end. Caught stealing, 1-3-6. We go to the ninth. The Rangers trail 2-1. T-Mobile official sponsor of Game Changers. It is Jared Weaver. Went 8 innings, just those 4 hits, 1 earned run. Struck out 5, trying to go to 10-0 against the Rangers here at home. He did throw 108 pitches in those 8 innings. And C.J. Cron is the reason why Jared Weaver is looking to move to 10-0. A home run in the bottom of the 8th inning as Kevin Jepsen now comes in trying to close the door on this one.
Yeah, no messing around. He's just going to come at you with hard stuff. You know, interesting though, we looked at the matchup. He's got Beltre coming up second this inning. Adrian Beltre in his career 5 for 10 with 1 home run.
John McDonald has taken over at third base for David Freese. So Shin-Soo Choo will lead things off here. Had the RBI single back, the RBI ground out back in the first to score the only run for Texas. And the first pitch fastball is inside for a ball. Choo on the night is 0 for 3. Did reach on the error back in the 4th, but was thrown out at second. He's 1 for 1 in his career against Jepsen with 3 walks. In the air to straightaway center field. Trout going back. Trout's at the wall. Tie game. And just like that, the bullpen struggles continue here for the Angels. The 7th home run of the year for Shin-Soo Choo. Two, and here's Adrian Beltre. Fastball is outside for ball 1. Choo, who is playing with an injured ankle, says he feels obligated to play to help out his team. Doesn't want to take time off, although time off is what he needs for the ankle. He comes up with a huge home run here in the 9th. Now Beltre to right field. Calhoun will come in. Makes the catch, 1 away.
Well, let's take a look at this home run right here. And just down the middle part of the plate. He just drives this thing. Look at that back elbow bent. Maximum strength. He continues the extension. It just doesn't seem to matter what the Angels do as far as running guys out there. You see Trout getting as high up on the wall as he can. He's got to get in those darn bushes. That ain't happening. But whether it's Jepsen or Frieri or Bedrosian, or it just doesn't seem to matter. It's almost like the bullpen is snake bit.
No balls and 1 strike here to Donnie Murphy. Look at that, 12th blown save this season already. Donnie Murphy had to come in for Alex Rios, who was ejected in the 4th inning. No balls and 2 strikes to Murphy, who struck out his only time up. Well, last week we saw these Angels with a 5-1 lead entering the 9th inning against the Braves. And Frieri faced 5 batters. All 5 reached base. And the Braves tied it up. But the Angels won it in 13. 0-2 breaking ball. Good pitch as Murphy goes down looking for out number 2.
You know, it sounds crazy, but the way Nick Martinez threw tonight for the Rangers, he didn't deserve a loss. Shin-Soo Choo gets him off the hook. You see Jepsen, a nice off-speed pitch right there on the corner. There's Nick. Again, he threw an exceptional ball game. He really did.
2 outs now for Brad Snyder. Joakim Soria is throwing in the bullpen for Texas. You know, we talked before about what this Rangers team can do with all the injuries, and if you trade anybody, Joakim Soria could be a guy that could bring something back. These Angels would love to have him, a guy who can close games out at the end. How about what's going on in Detroit with Joe Nathan and the Tigers. 1 ball and 1 strike. The count here to Snyder. 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts.
Great career as a closer for the Royals.
1-2 the count now. Jepson's 1-2. Slider didn't bite for Snyder, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, if there's any consolation for the Angels, Eric Ibar, and then the man, Mike Trout, Josh Hamilton, coming up in the bottom of the 9th.
Hey, what'd you say as we went to the 9th? Don't go anywhere. This could be interesting.
I said that.
The 2-2. Outside with a fastball. Now 3 balls and 2 strikes. It was 19 consecutive scoreless appearances for Kevin Jepsen, and then a leadoff home run by Shin-Soo Choo. 3-2, and Snyder goes down swinging. But Shin-Soo Choo leads off this inning. Straightaway center field, a solo shot. We're tied at 2 going to the bottom of the 9th here in Anaheim. With a solo shot at the top of the inning. And it's the top of the order. Cole Calhoun, Eric Ibar, Mike Trout to face Neil Kotz. Calhoun was at the plate when Efren Navarro was caught stealing 1-3-6 to end the 8th inning. So lefty-lefty matchup here, and the first pitch fastball is outside for a ball. You got to think that this is probably, well, maybe he'll get to face Ibar as a righty. But when Trout comes up, I got to think Trout will see Soria. Ground ball to second base. Odor makes the play, 1 away. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear with superior performing tires that knock it out of the park. Goodyear, more driven. A beautiful night for baseball here in Anaheim. It was a pitcher's duel between Nick Martinez and Jared Weaver. And, you know, maybe rightfully so, as you said, neither guy will get a decision, and neither guy deserves to get a loss tonight.
No, both guys pitched exceptionally well. C.J. Cron, who looked like he was going to be the hero for a minute.
Ibar first pitch swinging, fouls one into the seats, 0-1.
But again, great pitching performances on both sides from each of the starters. You know, haven't had a lot of opportunity for scoring. I mentioned the home runs.
Ibar is 0 for 3. 2 flyouts and a pop out. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Strike on the outside corner. Ibar does not like the call by home plate umpire Vic Caparazza.
Yeah, a bit of a delayed call. Great pitcher's pitch.
Caparazza already ejected earlier in the game in the 4th inning. Alex Rios. 1-2 is outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rios did not like a call made by him. Had a couple of words, and there was a quick hook. There's Mike Trout on deck, 0 for 3 on the night. A 2-2. Ground ball. Andrews has to hustle. He does. 2 away. Let's see if we're going to have a pitching change to get a righty to face Mike Trout. Jason Frazier is warming up out there in the bullpen. The crowd loves it with Trout coming to the plate. No sign yet from the dugout for Texas.
I think Wash is going to gamble here. He's got the left-handed hitting Josh Hamilton on deck.
Mike Trout is 0 for 3 tonight. Was 0 for 3 last night. So 0 for 6 in this series. I know you're impressed with that quick math.
That was good.
I went to BU, baby. First pitch fastball's in there for a strike.
Not much. Same pitch that was called against Eric Ibar.
Timeout asked for and granted. Trout with 16 home runs on the year. In the dirt, 1-1. Mike Trout has reached base in 37 of his last 38 games, but he has not reached base tonight. A line out to left, pop out in foul territory to first base, and a pop out to second his last time up. The 1-1. Big swing. 1-2.
He was going for it there. Obviously, with 2 outs, that's what he's looking for, something he can drive out of the park.
Earlier this year against the Rays, got to be mobbed by his teammates with the walk-off. The 1-2. Up high, 2-2. Hamilton on deck.
Well, if you're caught, you just can't give in. And you've got the left-handed hitting Hamilton on deck. At the very worst, you start over 0-0, but you just don't give him anything good to hit.
2-2, fouled back. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was fastball right down the middle. I just wouldn't do it. I mean, you make Trout go with his aggressiveness. I mean, he does strike out a lot. Make him expand the zone, but don't give him anything over the plate.
Everybody watching this at bat for Mike Trout. Another 2-2 pitch. Down low and outside, 3-2.
I'm the same thing right now. I'm setting off the plate somewhere.
The payoff pitch. Got him swinging. We go to extras here in Anaheim. Kotz goes 1-2-3 in the ninth. Trout strikes out swinging as we go to the 10th. Tied at 2. Going to the bottom of the 8th inning when C.J. Cron hit this to left field. Shin-Soo Choo just missed, robbing him of the home run. So what happens in the 9th? Choo leading off against Kevin Jepson goes to straightaway center field, and Trout couldn't rob him. All tied up at 2. Here we are now in the 10th inning. 2-2 ball game and a new pitcher in for the Angels. It is Mike Morin. Morin is 0-1 on the season with a 1.54 ERA. 19 strikeouts to 7 walks.
And remember, he was in the ball game last night. Gave up a home run.
He faces the bottom third of the order. Robinson, Chirinos, Michael Choice, and Rougned Odor. Remember, Choice has good power, batting second here in the inning. And the first pitch, breaking balls in there for a strike, 0-1. Chirinos is 0 for 3, a pop out, a fly out, and a ground out to shortstop his last time up. Chirinos trying to bunt for a base hit, now behind in the count, 0-2.
Remember last night when Morin came in, gave up 3 hits, did strike out 2.
And he gave up a home run to Choice. So as a hitter, if you knew you got the guy the night before, confidence going in again, or you just...
Well, no, you're feeling good about yourself. No question about it.
0-2 breaking ball, and way out in front of that was Chirinos.
But remember, last night Morin came in with a lead,
right?
And really the game seemed to be out of hand. You see this pitch, excellent pitch out of the zone, gets Chirinos chasing. You know, now it's a little different story. You got a tie ball game. He's not going to just be laying something down the middle of the plate. Choice has got to realize that.
Choice is 0 for 2. A ground out, a walk, and a strikeout. And their first strike, going 1. Outside with a fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here to Choice.
Well, if you're Choice right now, you're looking for something up. You're looking for something to drive. Thinking right center.
Just missing outside. 2-1. Eight home runs on the year for Choice. 1 last night against Morin. Outside with that slider, now 3-1.
So you're just sitting on fastball right here. You are just going to look for fastball, look for it out over the plate. If he drops some sort of off speed 3-1, then just spit on it. Looks like that's what's coming.
He takes it for a strike. He thought it was ball 4, so now it's 3-2.
That was much like the pitch to Rios earlier in the game, and Rios eventually was thrown out for voicing his opinion.
The payoff pitch. Called strike 3, and Choice now has some words. And quickly Washington comes out and he gets tossed. Vic Carapazza has tossed 2 Texas Rangers tonight. Alex Rios back in the 4th. Now Choice here in the 10th.
Well, Carapazza getting his money's worth tonight. Throwing a few guys out. This is strike 2. Now look at this. This pitch is off the plate. And you see Conger bring it back. I mean, that tells you right then and there. This pitch, and again, Conger catches it low and brings it up. So 2 times Conger does a great job of catching the ball and then deceiving the home plate umpire, bringing it back over the plate.
He just said that's not a strike right there. That's what he said, and that's how he got run.
He shouldn't have got run. Carapazza should have just said, yeah, you're right.
Two outs now. Base is empty for Rougned Odor.
Choice hadn't left the field. That's why Carapazza stepped out and halted play.
Odor takes the pitch for a strike.
Now, if you're a Ranger hitter right now, you know that there's an expanded zone. You can't continue to complain about it. You've got to make the adjustment.
Inside with a changeup, 1 ball and 1 strike. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 10th, it's Josh Hamilton, Howie Kendrick, and C.J. Cron.
Yeah, got to give credit to Hank Conger behind the plate. He's done an excellent job of getting those pitches for his pitcher.
And this time it hits Odor. So he's on base with 2 outs.
breaking ball that just continues in.
So man on at first, 2 outs. In the top of the order, Leonys Martin at the plate. Odor is now 1 for 4 on the year in stolen bases. He had a stolen base back in the 5th inning. And a throw back over. You got to think he's going to try to go here as well.
Well, we talked about it. The Rangers are 5 for 5 so far in this series. 4 last night, 1 tonight.
The long wait by Morin, trying to throw out the timing of Odor at first base. Now a look at Odor. Outside. 1 ball and no strikes. When a pitcher waits that long trying to throw off the timing for the base runner, doesn't it also throw off his own timing?
Well, I don't know. As far as he's worried about the guy at first, obviously, and he's got to neutralize that runner in one way or another. And remember, the pitcher, when he wants to start, he starts. So when you're talking about timing, you know, he's coming set. When he decides to go, it doesn't really throw off his timing. Now, if he was coming set and then just went right away, he's the one that determines when play starts. So, you know, maybe he doesn't like holding the ball, but it's better than standing up at the plate or being out as the runner when the pitcher's holding the ball.
He's certainly concerned with Odor on at first base.
And rightfully so. Again, you know, the Rangers, they can, I don't want to say they can be reckless, but they can be more aggressive. Look, nobody expects anything from them now, especially with all the injuries.
Martin now steps way out of the box. 1 ball, no strikes. The count to Leonys Martin here in the 10th inning. 2-2 ball game. Justin Kutcher alongside Eric Karros here on Fox Sports 1. Fox Sports Live is coming up after our game.
The holding the ball doesn't disrupt the pitcher. The runner at first base disrupts the pitcher.
Outside, now 2 balls and no strikes. So, okay, it's 2-0. You can't pitch out here to go to 3-0. This has got to be a good count to run.
Good count to run, but you're also in a situation right now that, hey, look, you know what? What if they're going to throw a fastball here? If he swings through the fastball, then you got a problem.
(2-0) not going, and the fastball's on the outside corner. Martin does not like it. Better not say a word because, well, already 2 Rangers have been run.
Well, this is about 4 inches off, and then we got the delay call.
Vic Carapazza, the son-in-law of Rich Garcia.
He's walked in right now back there. I mean, those pitches are off the plate. But again, as a hitter right now for the Rangers, you've got to make the adjustment. You're not going to get that call. The zone has definitely been expanded.
Two and 1 the count here to Martin. And again, a throw over to first base. Odor gets back safely. (2-1) not going. Changeup. 2-2.
That's a great pitch right there by Morin. 2-1, took something off. Change up out of the zone, even if Martin made contact, going to bounce that into the ground. Well, if ever you were going to run, this is it right here.
Not going. Pulled foul.
Morin didn't mess around right there. He just came set and went home. Didn't give Odor a chance at all to get a break on that pitch.
A throw back over. Odor's back safely. Jason Frazier and Joakim Sawyer are out in the bullpen. If it's a tie game, you're going to see Frazier. If Texas takes the lead, you'll see Soria. Again, a throwback to first base. Again, Odor's back safely.
See, they're arguing with first base umpire Bill Miller about either he's not coming set or he's balking or the footwork isn't right. There's Bill Miller.
Outside, 3-2, and guess what? Now he will definitely be going with the pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Efrain Navarro actually just came in to tell Morin, hey, I'm playing behind the runner.
Now you've got to play with him a little bit over at first base. You can't just let him get a ridiculous lead, because a double, you want to have at least an opportunity to get him at the plate.
There he goes, the 3-2 change up, and he strikes out Martin. A man is left on. We head to the bottom half of the 10th. The Angels trying to end it, tied at 2. So now Josh Hamilton gets a chance with one swing of the bat to send this crowd home. Very happy. A new right fielder it is, Dan Robertson. He has to take over for Michael Choice, who was ejected after arguing balls and strikes. Hamilton walked his last time up. 0 for 2 though. A strikeout and a line out to left. Lefty versus lefty. Kotz is still out there. First pitch off the glove of Kotz. And Kotz will eat it. A leadoff single for Hamilton. So remember back in the 10th when Ron Washington was barking at the first base umpire? Here's why.
Michael Morin comes set, and then he drops his hands again. So it's almost as if he's come set twice. Everybody on the bench sees that. They're upset. None of the umpires out on the field make that call.
Nobody makes that call, but Ron Washington will make this call, the call to the bullpen, as Neil Kotz's night is done. And it looks like it's going to be Jason Frazier coming in. Bottom 10, leadoff man on base, 2-2 game. Well, that's because he suffered a non-displaced fracture on his face on May 22nd in a game at Detroit following a collision with Alex Rios in right center field. So he has to play with a mask on. You see it a lot in basketball with broken noses. Rip Hamilton kind of made it famous. LeBron played with it. The new pitcher into the game here for the Rangers is the right-hander Jason Frazier. 2.25 ERA on the season. 24 innings, 27 strikeouts, and 10 walks. He faces Howie Kendrick here with Josh Hamilton on at first base. And Kendrick squared around a bunt. Hamilton goes back to the bag. Kendrick 0 for 3, 2 flyouts and a ground out. Kendrick pushed the bunt foul to first base. 0-1. Mike Scioscia trying to get Hamilton into scoring position with Cron and Conger on deck. Don't forget, we had a defensive replacement for David Freese. That's John McDonald. So he bats in Freese's spot, the 8-hole.
I'd let Kendrick hit here. I really would. As good a hitter as he is, as good as he is with the bat, putting the barrel on the ball, he's had some good swings tonight.
Again, a throw over to first base. Up high, 1 ball and 1 strike. There is some action in both bullpens. For Texas, Aaron Pareda begins to throw the left-hander. Again, you got Conger coming up and 2 batters.
See third baseman Beltre still looking for the bunt. He's in on the grass. He's creeping. He's creeping.
There goes Hamilton, the hit and run. That's fouled away.
Yeah, I just figured, again, as good as Kendrick is handling the bat, it's a nice job by Mike Scioscia putting that on. And as well as he goes to the right side with Snyder, the first baseman, holding Hamilton at the bag, you still got a wide area to shoot the ball through.
One, two, fouled away. Don't forget, coming up after the conclusion of this game, we'll go to Jay and Dan for Fox Sports Live. They thought they were going to get to work early tonight. Huh. They didn't know that you were calling an Angels game. A long wait, now a time asked for by Kendrick, granted by Carapazza. Chirinos looks in for the signs. Inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Now they're going to go soft away, get it off the plate. Again, Kendrick's so good at going the other way, especially with anything hard.
There's a huge gap in left center field. 2-2, they went soft away, laid off. Now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Do you send Hamilton here?
I'm going to send Hamilton. I've got enough trust in Kendrick where I was putting on a hit and run earlier. I got to send him right now. Get him moving. At the very least, you get to strike him out, throw him out. You bring your man Crone to the plate and hope he runs into one again.
Hamilton is going. Line drive. Left center field. Hamilton at third. He's going to be sent home. Here he comes, and the Angels win it. Kendrick to that big gap in left center field on a 3-2 pitch.
Again, the outfielders shift to right center, left center wide open. He gets a pitch down in the zone, drives this thing, and with Hamilton on the move, just he could walk on in.
The guys on the bench, they're waving him home. Hamilton led off with that single off of Cotz's glove. Kendrick knew it. And the Angels make it 2 in a row here against the Texas Rangers. The winner is more than the losses. Kotz, time now for Fox Sports Live with Jay and Dan.